The word of the day today is catastrophe. Every time I say the word catastrophe, a game developer gets a lunch break. Move over, Fallout 76. E.T., you can stay in the ground, pal. We have a new worst of all time. We have a new biggest catastrophe in gaming history on our hands over here. It's time for Sony to take a seat at the flop table because now they are the kings. Absolutely no hyperbole, Sony just released the biggest catastrophe in gaming history. So much so that they've already canceled the game, recalled it from shelves, and are offering full refunds to the 30 people that bought it. This is a huge story, but before we talk about it, my name is Dan Frampton. Thank you so much for being here. This is my quick slop channel. It's kind of where I do warm-up videos about quick slop topics as fast as possible. Subscribe while you're here, why not? So the video game in question we're talking about today is called Concord, and this thing was in development for over 8 years. Sony put some real boots on the ground when it came to Concord. They put $100 million into this video game. That isn't chump change. That's a lot of friggin' money to be throwing at something, especially a hero shooter, which the market has 1 million of already. Team Fortress 2 is 1 million years old at this point. People can play Overwatch if they want this sort of thing. And hey, those things are free to play games. You had to shell over $40 to play this Concord slop. Now, I'm a big fan of slop. You're on a slop channel right now. But what Sony did over here is absolutely next level insane. $100 million down the drain. And everybody was anticipating a flop. They knew that this thing wasn't gonna do well. And yo, it didn't. Because a week after the game hit the shelves, Sony is like, about that. Let's read their statement here really quick. It starts off, Concord fans. Concord fans? What fucking Concord fans? That's not a thing. The 30 of them on Steam right now, there's one person that earned a Concord Platinum Trophy in the world. That's going to be a very valuable account, I think. We've been listening closely to your feedback since the launch of Concord on PlayStation 5 and PC, and want to thank everyone who has joined the journey aboard the North Star. Your support and the passionate community that has grown around the game has meant the world to us. A passionate community. I think if there was a passionate community, this whole statement here wouldn't exist. There is no passionate community, Sony. What are you talking about? However, while many qualities of the experience resonated with players, we also recognize that other aspects of the game and our initial launch didn't land the way we intended. Therefore, at this time, we decided to take the game offline beginning September 6th, 2024. It's been out for a week. Imagine being one of the few people that was actually excited about this game, that got their hands on this game, that want to play this game with the other 30 people that are out there playing it, and now you can't because Sony's like, yo, too bad, sunk cost. We're not gonna actually put a team into like keeping up with this game, so it's just easier for us to pull the plug. And this is so much different than any of these other games that came out that aren't really quite finished, because this game was supposed to be a finished, polished product that Sony really did think was going to be like the next big thing. And a week after it comes out, sorry, we're taking it offline. While we determine the best path ahead, Concord sales will cease immediately and will begin to offer a full refund to gamers that have purchased the game. Yeah, you can't buy this thing. I pulled up Steam and I was like, hey, I want to buy this thing. You can't, because even though it's going to go offline on September 6th, I wanted the last couple days to see what this trash fire was like, but you can't even get in there to buy it. The lucky few gamers that have an experience with this game cherish those memories. Customers who purchased from other digital storefronts will also be refunded. That's crazy. Normally with Steam, if you play the game for less than 2 hours, you can return it. But with most video games, if you buy it, you bought that fucking thing. But how did this shit fail so hard, so quickly, and so out of the gate? Well, like I said, it's a dime a dozen, boring as hell, hero shooter that you can play online, normally for free, with a actually passionate community with any of these other games, if you're into that kind of like team-based, free-to-play slop type shit, which I'm not, but it's out there if you want. Another thing that a lot of people criticized this game over was the character design. These characters were really ugly. nobody wanted to play as any of these characters. And not only did anybody not want to play as any of these characters, I don't think that any of these characters passed the cosplay test, where you see a character that looks so cool that you want to look like that character at a convention on Instagram or whatever. I don't think that this game passed the cosplay test even by a little bit. You want to have at least one character in your video game cool enough for people to be inspired by. But Concord didn't have any of that. And it's crazy because they put so much time not only into like the models of these characters, they did backstory, they wrote lore, they made cutscenes for all of this crazy shit just to flush it down the toilet a week after it came out. There wasn't even enough time for players to like consume the content that Concord and Sony put out there. It's just gone. And if this was like an indie developer or a smaller studio, maybe this story would kind of go under the radar. But this is Sony putting out a flagship game that absolutely failed right away. There are tons of other flop video games over here, you know? But I would say that Concord now takes the absolute proverbial cake on this one. God damn, I really wish I played it now. That guy out there with the Concord Platinum Trophy, unbelievable. Just so you know, I'm not making it up over here. Here's the guy over here, and it's called Living Legend. No kidding. Rarity, ultra rare, 0.1%. That is incredible. It's even rarer than that now that it's been canceled, shipped off to the graveyard. This kind of is going to be the craziest video game story of the year, I think. It's not every day. It's not every year. It's not every decade you get to see a flop this catastrophic. Okay, I'm going to go right now. Thank you for eating the slop. Bye for now.